Hi, welcome back to Lead with Love. Oh, it's too dark. Welcome back to Lead with Love. And I'm still talking about higher consciousness. So I'm going to go into the Google definition for higher self. And then I have an article. It's the higher self yoga article. So I'm going to go into that one article in this video now, but I'm going to go into the Google terms for higher self. So higher self is a term associated with multiple belief systems. It's a basic premise describes an eternal, omnipotent, conscious, and intelligent being who is one's real self. Once you uncover all the layers of yourself, you see your real self. That's it. Through the ages, the higher self has been given many names: the inner self, soul, Christ consciousness, beloved, Buddha, nature, and spirit. Regardless of what we call this fundamental inner core, it is our deepest, most divine essence. It's what's within ourselves. But now I'm going to go into the higher self yoga. What is the higher self? It's enlightenment through self-awareness. So this article is pretty good. I'm going to include it in the description box, so you can always check. You can always go in the description box. The link is going to be there. Once you click on the link, it'll go directly into the higher self yoga site, and it'll explain what is the higher self. The site has other things you can look into. It has a lot of information there also that might interest you. You can click on it and you can see what is higher self. Higher self is enlightenment within yourself. You have to find yourself, spend time with yourself, love yourself. I always talk about that, but I'm going to go straight into the article. What is the higher self? What is the higher self? At Higher Self Yoga, we see the higher self as an extension of yourself that is part of you and part of the source, the ultimate higher power, the universal source of cosmic energy. Energy is everything. Everything has energy. The energy links us to everyone and everything. We are all interconnected through shared energy. As this is universal energy, this higher consciousness is contained within each one of us. We can use the higher self to access the universal wisdom and knowledge from within. You have to unlock it because we live in the material world. Everything is 3D. The money, the clothes, the cars, the houses, all the flashy things. That's what you see. But everything, it has more meaning, and you have to go deeper. You have to unravel it. You have to go with them. You have to see beyond, because everything is not what it seems. It can look one way, but it has a deeper meaning than what you see with your physical eyes. The higher self may be seen as a wise being within all of us, the energy of our highest potential waiting to be expressed. How do you know if you are experiencing is really the higher self? So that's like, how do you know if you're experiencing this? Like if you've met your higher self, or you're going through the motions, going through the changes. The higher self can be personified in many ways, and not all of them in human in nature. According to Roberto Asligioli, an MD, a doctor, the father of psychosynthesis, energies descend down into images, and images descend down into words. The higher self can appear to you as a man or a woman, regardless of your gender identity, because we both embody the masculine and feminine energy. So you have both energies: female, man, woman, female, male. We embody both. So you can, doesn't matter who you are, we have both. masculine and feminine energy. It can also take on the form of an animal, a color, or even an energy. Sorry. Even an energy felt throughout the body. So, higher self can appear to you as a man or a woman. It can appear to you in the form of an animal, a color, or an energy felt throughout the body. Wow. How do we connect with our higher selves? There are many paths you can take to reach your higher self. As in many other spiritual practices, the act of meditation, everything that I'm reading, it talks about meditation. Meditation is a big point, a big key to discovering your higher self. You have to take time, you have to quiet your mind, and you have to be still and pay attention. Pay attention to everything. Meditation plays a key role, but is not the only path. Strengthening your intuition, getting in touch with your heart, and spending time in nature, and even understanding the power of the words you speak can bring you closer to your higher self. Your words have power, so you have to be careful what you're saying because you're manifesting it. Everything that you say, whatever you put out there, whatever energy you putting out there, you're speaking it into existence. And you have to be careful of what you're saying and how you're speaking. You can't sit there and be angry, be mad, be aggressive, and have all these negative feelings. That's a low vibe. You gotta get rid of that and use your heart. Everything comes from within. It's from within your heart. Your heart is your strongest. It's the strongest emotion you could feel is with your heart. And strengthening your intuition, that's like listening to your gut feelings, because we don't want to listen to our gut feelings. Something's telling you don't do this and you do it anyway. You're ignoring your intuition. You were warned, you were told, but you did what you wanted to do. That's when you don't listen, and that's when bad things happen. But back to the article. What happens when you start communicating with your higher self? Once you begin to connect with your higher selves, the change we see in ourselves and in our lives can be breathtaking. From improvements in our physical bodies and mental outlook to the ways we treat and interact with others. The benefits of connecting with our higher selves are endless. By acknowledging and transforming our lower nature tendencies, we free up space within us for the energy of higher self consciousness to come in and express itself. So those low vibes, that's just doing things that it just takes up space and time, and you're wasting time. Like, you're supposed to be connecting with your higher self, and you rather drink and smoke and hang out with the boys or go with the girls and go shopping. And it's like, you need to take time for yourself, find yourself, know yourself, love yourself. It's self. Everything is within yourself. Higher consciousness is within yourself. You have to take time for yourself. Meditating regularly and connecting with our higher selves are like two sides of the same coin. When you commit yourselves to these practices, you will strengthen your intuition. You learn to stop negative thought patterns. You become more positive. Positive energy. You discover your career path. Like, you could be working one job and you just quit and you start doing something else. You discover yourself. You discover what you really want to do with yourself and your time. You sleep easier. I sleep like a baby. So sleep comes easy. Heighten your productivity and focus. So you're more focused and more productive. And boost your immune system. So all of these are positive effects of getting to know your higher self. By learning to work even more closely with your higher self, whether in relationships or alone, Whether at work or at home with one's family, higher self begins where you are and helps you reach your fullest worldly and spiritual potential. Higher self. What is higher self yoga? Higher self yoga is not at all what many may think when we hear yoga. It does not involve physical exercise, and there's no postures, no positions, no ways you have to put yourself. Higher self yoga is yoga in the original sense of union with something bigger, union with the divine, with science or cosmos, or in the case of higher self yoga, union with the higher self. So it's coming together with your higher self. Higher self yoga leads you on a path from which to understand one's life in its uniqueness and realize its full potential. How and why do you think and act as you do? You want to know yourself. Like, this is getting to know yourself, know your bad habits, know why you do certain things, and you're just discovering it. And to continually deepen that understanding through growing self-awareness and improvement. Like, you're always trying to improve yourself, making yourself better, knowing yourself, knowing the things about yourself. Unlike traditional religions and spiritual teachings, higher self yoga does not hold onto rigidly held beliefs or the idea that one should withdraw from life and its challenges. Okay, how do you start? Whether if you're a beginner, an intermediate, or an advanced seeker, higher self yoga will introduce you to a less explored but equally important spiritual side of yoga. We strive to demystify spirituality, making it accessible to everyone who is seeking fulfillment while leading a busy lifestyle. So this is classes, their steps. They're currently developing a series of guided experiences covering key aspects to connecting to your higher selves. Our first guided experience is Awakening Your Intuition, is live and completely free for a limited time. As new classes are released, we'll notify our followers through email, social media, whatever, but it's free. Like, for you to know your higher self, like, I always go on sites and they always charge you all this money for you to discover something that you could do this on your own. Like, if you sit there and you just take time to know yourself, take time for yourself, it's okay to be alone, because sometimes you need to be alone in order to figure yourself out, because you're not going to find yourself if you're sitting with somebody in your face all day or telling you the negative things that you don't even want to hear. Like, you need to focus on yourself. Quiet. You have to be in quiet. You have to meditate. You have to think. You have to just take time to yourself. You have to think about your actions. Why do you do things? Why do things happen? That's how you can discover your own generational curses. Like, people don't think about it, but everyone has it, but no one thinks about it. And it's like, if you really sit there and you take time to think about what's going on, and you think about the family, and you think about everything, it'll come together and you'll find your own answers. You can only find your answers. So you can sit there, you can spend all this money trying to find all this information. You could sit there and do this by yourself. By yourself, with your own free time. You don't need somebody telling you what to do and how to do it and where to put yourself and how to move your body. You could do this all by yourself for free. It's free. But I'm going to include the link in the description box. So if you are interested, you can click on it. But this, for you to know your higher self, is just taking time to yourself, to know yourself. Meditation is good. It's like breathing techniques, all that. It's just taking time for yourself. Quiet the mind and understand yourself and your body and everything. All right. Thanks for listening. And I'll have another video I'm going to do about your higher self. And that will be it. So this was Higher Self, the Higher Self Yoga Edition. So the link is in the description box. Thanks for listening. Thanks for clicking on my video. And I will do another one. Bye.